On Maruti Suzuki presents ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, we're previewing Afghanistan versus Ireland. Maybe your eyes are all on the England-Australia clash, but Ireland have reminded us now that we should not be looking at just 2 or 3 teams from this group for the semi-finals. Anil Kumble in studio with me, but let me go to Niall O'Brien first up. If they are to pick up these 2 points, what that could possibly mean for their semi-final hopes. Back-to-back wins. All they need is maybe another point with a washout or upsetting another team with on a bit of a roll, and we could have a very different conversation about the semi-finalists from this group. Niall, big game this?
Huge game, absolute ginormous game. One of the biggest games Ireland will play in a very long time because of the England win. If they can beat Afghanistan, who are one of our old foes, really, it's a new rivalry. Kind of the emergence of Afghanistan. They came on the back of the kind of exploits that Ireland had in the early 2000s, and Afghanistan, I know for a fact, looked up to Ireland as inspiration. Now Afghanistan have probably overtaken Ireland with the emergence of some of their star players, but this is a huge game. And as you rightly mentioned, if Ireland get a win and get 4 points on the board, and then maybe if things go their way and they sneak another win or there's a bit of rain around, well, wouldn't that be just incredible? So this is a massive game.
You could sense how big this game is in just Niall's response, and Anil is enjoying it.
Because I know what it will mean to Niall. He'll have to find a different pub because the pub which is around the corner is closed for him.
Well, if you want some backstory to this, Niall's in the UK now, and his British landlady's banned him from her pub after Ireland upset England. So, in all seriousness though, this game is probably a good thing, Anil, that this game comes 48 hours after that England win at the same ground. Ireland will be feeling better about their chances?
Oh yes, they know the conditions. I think the most successful batter captain in this World Cup has been Balbirnie for Ireland. So he's scored the most runs as a captain. The other skippers have all sort of struggled in their positions wherever they're batting. So I'm sure Ireland will be very confident. They batted really well. They sort of used their resources. They kept an eye on the DLS, and I thought, overall they played a wonderful game to beat England. That confidence will certainly be there when they play Afghanistan. It all boils down to how they play the spinners. That's been their sort of weak link, so to speak. But I'm sure with that confidence, high in confidence against England, they'll certainly do well, and I think they can fancy themselves.
Yeah, I mean, there is some weather around for this one, but all we need is a game, right? We saw that in Ireland, England, even though weather was around, we got a result. Even if we get a shortened game, let's hope the weather doesn't play its part and the forecast is wrong. But that spin point that Anil talks about, Niall, I remember the game against Sri Lanka where Balbirnie offered at the toss himself that they play Rashid Khan enough times. Well, this is their time to show how that familiarity may help. And I'm bringing up some numbers for you. It's not been Rashid Khan's best year in T20I cricket. His average is higher than it's ever been from at least the last few years, but it was 12 and 14 and 13. Now it's 24 this year. Economy rate is still always steady, but suddenly Rashid Khan is not quite the threat that he used to be, or should we say that with caution?
You're a very brave man saying that because I felt the wrath of Rashid Khan many times. I think I'm the batter he's dismissed the most in his career. I got reminded that on the eve of a game in 2018 against Afghanistan. Ireland have generally played Afghanistan spinners pretty well. To be fair, Paul Sterling has a wonderful record against Rashid Khan and Mujib, especially Mujib with the new ball. So Ireland, I don't think will be fearing Afghanistan. That game, the toss is massive because Afghanistan love to bat first because they love getting a score on the board and then trying to stranglehold and choke the opposition batters in the run chase with the likes of Rashid, Nabi, etc. So the toss is going to be crucial. Ireland have won batting first in this tournament. They've won chasing, so they'll be comfortable doing either way. But I think for Afghanistan, they're not a good chasing team. They don't necessarily handle pressure well in a big game. I've seen it numerous times in ODI cricket, especially when the run rate starts climbing. Big ground at the G, big boundaries. I can see a lot of men maybe holding out in the deep. So it should be a good one. And Zazai, I think, is injured. Hazratullah Zazai has an injury as well. He is a big player for Afghanistan. So if he's out, that's a big loss for Afghanistan.